Hello everybody, Beard Reads Books here, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing a book review on volume 3 on the Time Police book series, and this one's Stranded. Now before I get into my book review, I'm going to apologise now if I sound a bit sort of rough around the edges. I'm currently suffering the tail end of COVID, so I came down with that a few days ago. Managed to avoid COVID for 2 years now, and it's only just finally caught up with me, so thankfully I haven't been had it too badly, so I can't complain too much. But like I said, apologies if I sound a bit rough as a result. So but anyway, like I said, I've done a book review on the first 2 books in the series, so I thought I'm going to do a review on this one now. And yeah, a bit of a criticism I made about the first 2 books. It's the same criticism I'm going to make about this one. It's the layout and all the rest. It's the author desperately needed to get his books proofread and all the rest, and like some kind of like an editor and all the rest checking out the layout and everything else. Yeah, so it's definitely Pulp Fiction style books. I mean, and for those of you who have seen my reviews on the first 2 books, you'll know the general gist of what the stories are about. Like time police there trying to change the past for their own ends, and Jackson Dubchak, he's like the main protagonist in the books. He's got caught up in the whole lot, and he's fighting against the time police. Yeah, so anyway, in this book, in this one, starts off with him being in the, spending a bit of time in the 2070s, just keeping his head down, trying to hide away. And then he finally gets visited by a guy. He's another time traveller who's like got stranded in the past, and comes to Jackson for help to investigate, look into the whole what's going on with Texas, because in these books there's a lot of timelines where Texas is an independent state, never joined the United States, which kind of goes against like the history that a lot of these people know. They always knew Texas as being part of the US, and suddenly they're finding themselves in timelines where Texas never joined the US, and it always remained an independent state. This other time traveller wants Jackson to go back and sort of look into that and find out what's going on. So it's a little bit, so this book does revolve a bit around that. Jackson goes back to Texas in the 19th century and to look into it a bit. Bit of a weak storyline, I thought. I didn't really get into it much as the first ones. And I mean, the first 2 books, reading them back recently, even though they're a bit Pulp Fiction, a bit not brilliant, nostalgia aspect that I had for them, I really enjoyed them. But the nostalgia didn't hold this book up as well, as good as it could have been. I kind of read it, and it's like, actually, I can see it for exactly what it is. A really pants story. Yeah. Not even nostalgia is good enough to hold this up for me. So, sorry, Time Police Volume 3. Yes, so bad storyline. It's not even nostalgia can help you. So yeah, and there was going off on a slight tangent, there was a 4th book written but never actually published, and I think I have read online that there is an unedited draft of volume 4. I think held in some university over in Texas, US. So The series ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, and it's an unresolved cliffhanger because the fourth book never got published. I mean, this was written. I think the fourth book was written around about 1990, and one of the authors, right, one of the co-authors, he's since passed away back in 2005, I think it was. So the likelihood of the fourth book ever actually being finished and published, it's I think it's safe to say it's dead. It's never going to happen. So we're never going to find out how the storyline ends. Never going to find out what finally happens with Jackson Dubchak and what happens to the time police and all the rest. All these like unresolved storylines are going to remain unresolved, and it's like, yeah, that's a bit frustrating. I want to find out what happened to them all. Yeah. But then considering how pants the first three books were, maybe it's probably just as well the fourth book didn't get published. Maybe that was probably just as pants as the first three. So maybe I'm not really missing anything worth missing. So, but yeah, excuse me, guys. Yeah. Oh, good old COVID. Yeah. Going off on a tangent. Yeah, because it was when Tuesday night I tested positive for COVID, and it's now Saturday. So yeah, Tuesday night, that's when I came down with COVID. All day Wednesday I just slept solidly, and all day Thursday I just crashed out on the lounge sofa. I was too ill even to read anything, you know, so I haven't done much reading for the last few days. But anyway, yeah, little tangent now. So yeah, I don't rate this one highly. Don't rate it highly at all. So I think it's just going to sit on my bookshelf. I haven't got the heart to get rid of it, even though I'll probably never ever read it again, because I find it difficult to get rid of books, exceedingly difficult. And the amount of times I've like got a little pile of books together to get rid of, and ended up putting them back on the bookshelf because I just haven't been able to get rid of them. So I think this is just gonna sit on my bookshelf, probably unread. I love it in its own special way, but yeah, it'll probably just end up sitting on my bookshelf for another 10 years or so, unread, quietly ignored. And then one day I might pick it up again and read it and rediscover all over again how utterly rubbish it is. So anyway, that's my little review on this book. So yeah, guys, probably not worth reading. Well, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's probably just about falls into the category so bad it's good. Maybe just about falls into that category. So, you know, maybe if you like to read bad books, yeah, maybe it's worth reading this one. So anyway, guys, yeah, I'm not going to recommend you go out and read it, but if you want to, go for it. And on that happy note, and before I start into a big old COVID related coughing fit, I'm going to say goodbye, and I look forward to seeing you in the next book review. And in the meantime, guys, happy reading.